This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test.
Hello, we meet again, my beautiful soul family here on YouTube. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything that you do. And also, guys, I reached 33,000 followers on TikTok today, and I'm super excited. So if you are following me on TikTok, thank you. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And I'm also growing here on YouTube as I co-create with you guys and look forward to creating much more frequently, because I feel like we all deserve that. I deserve to create more. You deserve to receive more. So thank you for that. Also, as always, if you do enjoy my content and you're not quite subscribed to all of my spaces yet, here they are. Go over there, check them out. And your support, of course, is valued and appreciated. So today, as I mentioned in my video yesterday about how I'm leaning towards moving away from my Patreon, I wanted to actually touch on some of the things that I do talk about on my Patreon here in this space. And one of the things is the most basic, most simple technique of not only tarology, but simple manifestation and working with the universe, the alignments, and the sacral energy of you. So as I've mentioned before on like many TikToks, many videos and things like that, there are hand associations for each day of the week. Each day of the week also has a planet association, and this is all regarding and referencing planets. So planets in our natal charts affect us individually in different ways. For instance, I personally have an Aquarius first house with Jupiter inside of my first house. The first house is the identity, how you are perceived by the world, how you move in the world, how your chart is made up, the matter of it is. It's how you are moving in this world. So with mine being Aquarius, also having my 12th house, half Aquarius, but in Capricorn, it makes for me having a lot of energy in the community, a lot of energy in this world and connections and networking and things like that. And I have my most luck on Jupiter days and using my Jupiter and Uranus energies. So with that being said, also factors that go into play with this are the degrees. But we won't talk about the degrees just yet. But let's talk about the days of the week and how these energies serve us and how we can align our chakras and ourselves to attune with the energy of the currency of each momentum in the nows. So let's start with Monday. As we all know, Monday, well, maybe you don't know, but I will tell you now, Mondays are associated with the moon. Moons are actually not a finger. The moon day is not a finger. It's actually more of a space inside the hand. So we actually will not be using a hand motion for the moon days, but moon days are Mondays, and they are great days for rest, relaxation, and self-awareness. All right. So now whenever we associate each day with the finger, because they all have each association, they also come and have a chakra as well. The chakra for the moon is the crown chakra. So you're going to really be able to harness energy into your awareness on moon days, especially if the moon is placed somewhere very significant in your chart. No matter where your moon is placed, the moon is always important because the moon is your inner body, your inner emotions. So days that pertain to the pertinence of your moon energy are going to be very important for you to realize the ways that you can tap into your inner emotional state, your sense of comfort, your inner energy, and feeling the essence of you. So remember, Mondays associated with moon, and also the crown chakra is associated with the moon and Monday. So there you go for Monday. And I guess we're going to start with Monday instead of Sunday because I already did that. So next we're going to go to Tuesday. Tuesdays are Mars days. Mars are a day of action. And just like Aries, because Aries and Mars are the same embodiment, Aries is simply the sign, Mars is the planet. Mars is the action of your chart. Again, the first house, the energy that you're moving into in the chart. It is a chart, or it is a planet of action. So on Tuesdays, plan things that you have to get done on Tuesdays. If you're a very Mars-oriented person, if you have a daytime chart, Mars is actually going to be more detriment for you if you do have a day chart. But at the same time, you can always work with the energy of Mars, because you can always work with the energy of any placement that you have. And we all have these placements, because no matter if you have nothing in your first house, for instance, you still have your rising sign. It's still your first house, and Mars is still going to play out in your chart. So you can identify where Mars is in your chart, which house it's in, which sign it's in, and then you can also utilize that energy of those two intersecting things to be able to combine them as one, raising the impact of your action that you take and the state of your being during Mars days. So Mars is associated with the solar plexus. The solar plexus, it is right below your breast, right? And above the belly button. So the solar plexus is also associated with the sun. It can very much be intertwined with both. And this is the energy, because it's like you give light to the energy of what you're moving forward with in life. So whenever you want to activate the energy of your thumb, the energy of Mars, on a Mars day or at a Mars time, because we can go in more detail on that. I do discuss these things on my Patreon. Like I said, I am going to be disregarding my Patreon soon. I may leave it open as a general space. So if anyone wants to keep that information, you can just kind of like go there and reference it and just pay the $1 a month to keep it going or something like that. But I will make my announcement formally soon on Patreon on exactly what my game plan is. But yes, so you can take your thumb, place it on your solar plexus. For instance, if you're using a Grab a Bowie code, if you're familiar with tarology, you can definitely activate any Mars code, any code of a 2 with doing this. But that's a whole other story. Let's only talk about the chakras and the planets associated with the fingers and everything. Okay, so Mercury days. Mercury days are always going to be associated with Wednesday for 1, the pinky for 2, and the throat chakra for 3. Mercury is very much a vocal energy. It's also a mental energy. It's more of energy of the twins, right? Because Mercury has not only Gemini, but it has Virgo. So wherever you have placements of Virgo or Gemini in your chart, also keep in mind the 3rd and the 6th houses. These are going to be houses that are impacted on these days. So whenever we have a Mercury day, Mercury is associated also with speaking, writing, communication type energy. So wherever you have your Mercury placed in your chart, the house, and the placements of it and what's affecting it, that is going to be how you can work with that energy by utilizing the energy on the Mercury day. Not only that, but also the times, the days, the energies, everything. There's so much to this. And like I've mentioned before, I do share this stuff on my Patreon. I may keep my Patreon open as a general space to anyone who wants to just keep paying the $1 to stay on there, so you can access this information more easily, so there's no like confusion or anything like that. But I'm still working out the kinks, and I will definitely update you all, and of course my Patreon, once I make my clear decision on the path of what I'll be doing. But do remember that the Mercury is associated with the pinky, the throat chakra, and the energy of communication. So Wednesdays are the best day to really put out communication. Do a creative writing thing. Do something of that nature. Remember, Mercury is the lower mind, because Sagittarius is the higher mind, which is also Jupiter. And Jupiter can be associated with Sagittarius and also Pisces. So anyways, let's move to the next. So next we have Thursdays. Thursdays are my favorite. They're Jupiter days. Jupiter is the most incredible energy to me, because Jupiter is all about expansion, the higher mind, and luck, good fortune, blessings, things of good nature coming to you. So if you have Jupiter in a really amazing placement, remember that you are able to utilize that Jupiter in the way that it works for you in your chart based on the energy that it provides. So I want you to always harness the energy of Jupiter in on Thursdays. Also remember, just like when you point at something, like pointing is so important, right? People used to say, don't point, because you have one finger pointing at me and like 4 pointing back at you or whatever, right? So Jupiter is literally like a wand. So we want to take Jupiter, and then we have the sacral chakra, which is actually underneath the belly button. So you're going to take the index finger, place it on your sacral chakra. You're using like a Grab a Bowie code. That's a Jupiter code. Those in my system are 3s. If you want to go check that out, you can, like I've mentioned before. But I am going to share a lot more about this system here too as well, because I want to make it more of a open thing. But yeah, so Jupiters are really great days to tap into anything that could bring you luck, or something that's of a higher mind, spirituality, anything of that basis. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you're practicing manifestation or just clearing blocks using these planetary alignments. All right, so next we have Venus. I love Venus energy. I love Venus days. I love what Venus stands for, and Venus is a very, very powerful energy, and it's a great day for anything love related, anything heart related, because yes, Venus is the heart chakra, guys. So Venus is the energy of love. So money, anything of that nature, which love and money are two completely different things, but yet they can go hand in hand, because if you have money, you can get things you love. I'm just joking, but is it not true? But anyway, so Venus days are great days to practice self-love, just treating yourself nicely, doing something kind of like romantic even for yourself, even if you are by yourself. Like, go take yourself out on a date, treat your partner to something nice, do something really awesome on a Venus day, because Venus days are literally an energy of self-love. Think of Taurus. Think of how Taurus and Libra are both Venus energies. One is the self in the energy of Venus, and the other is in partnership of Venus. So even if you go back and forth every other week, one week you take care of yourself, you do things that are really super awesome for yourself, the next week you do partner. Either way, whatever you do, just remember that Venus is associated also with the thumb, just like Mars, and it is the heart chakra. So if you're doing any kind of manifestation, again, doing Grabavoe codes, tarology, anything of that nature, and you're wanting to use a Venus code, which is a 2, you're going to take that code, speak it out loud, put your thumb on your heart chakra, speak, and manifest into reality. All right, so next we have Saturn. Saturn is Saturday. Saturday. Doesn't it make sense? It does to me. Saturn is the most serious of the planets, I guess we could say, because Saturn is time. Saturn is earthly. Saturn is structure. So on these days, if you have plans you need to make, you have things that you've got to do and you've got to set into motion, not necessarily action, Saturn is going to be a great day to do that. So Saturdays are really good days to like establish a structure, to establish a system, to do something of that nature. And keep in mind, Saturn is also career energy. It's work energy. So even though it falls on a Saturday, which in our society, Saturdays are usually like a day off, remember, it's a great day to really do something that's going to impact you in a way of your career or your status or something like that, like your midheaven energy, right? So Saturn is associated with the middle finger, and it is, of course, the root chakra. So the root chakra is on the back lower tailbone. So when you're using Saturn energy, I want you to really think about rooting things in, because from where Saturn is the root chakra, it really knows how to root and ground things into reality. So whatever you are bringing in from Thursday, say good luck or whatever it may be, or just the higher mind, the higher consciousness, bring that into awareness into the day of Friday by treating yourself nicely, doing Venetian things, and then Saturday, harness that energy by understanding the structure and the balance of said energy. So next, and I mean, I guess we could have done this one first, but we didn't. But the next is, of course, Sunday. Sunday is literally the day of the sun. Sun, right? So sun. Think of how sun is so godly. Sun brings light to this earth. It gives balance to this earth of the structure of seeing. Not necessarily balance, but it gives sight, the clarity of life. It gives us the essence of how we view this world. Think of why sun sign astrology was so popular for so long, and it still is. It's because people highly associate their identity with the sun, because you are your own sun. For instance, my sun is an Aquarius sun. It falls in my 12th house. So I have a very Neptunian sun, yet my sun is still very much my sun, and it still very much matters. So wherever your sun is placed, whichever house it is placed, you're going to be able to utilize the energy of that placement and bring awareness to it by bringing light to it, by being yourself, putting your persona into this world, and letting your whatever flags fly. I was gonna say freak flag, but what if you're not a freak? But just letting you be you. You know what I mean? So yes. So Sunday is associated with I always want to like do something like da 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 da. Okay, and did I already tell you Sunday's associated with the ring finger? I think I might have. So Sunday is associated with the ring finger, and Sunday is also the solar plexus. And then also some people say it is the third eye. So the third eye, solar plexus, because as I mentioned before, Mars is also the solar plexus. So the third eye is definitely something that a lot of people do associate it with. And it's just because you have the sight to see. Think of that like a sun in your head. Like you have the light that shines within yourself. So whenever you're working with Sunday energy on the sun day energy, I want you to really just tap into the essence of you and how you perceive and see the world. So that is a rundown of all of the chakras, all of the planet finger associations. So I really hope that you all enjoyed this video with me just kind of doing a rundown breakdown of the chakras, fingers, and day associations of the planets. If you did, let me know in the comments and I can create more content like this. There's so much more to discover. We have degrees inside of our planets, inside of our natal charts that are going to impact us, because did you know that each degree is literally associated with the planet? So say you have a 3-degree sun sign in Leo, right? So you would have a mercurial energy of your sun inside of Leo. So you would have a very sun like energy, right? But you would also have very communicative energy. You're also very much mental energy. So the way that you shine your light in this world would be through some form of communication. So knowing the degrees is a crucial element, and it's something that's kind of overlooked in astrology a lot of times. So it's something I want to bring more awareness to, because I'm finding that we can really clear a lot of our blocks if we work with the degrees of our actual natal charts and our planets and things like that. If anyone is interested and you'd want to kind of have like a set down with me, a run through on the degrees, on the natal charts, on the aspects, talking about these type of things, let me know and we can maybe organize something to have like a group event or maybe even just a one-on-one session. Either way, we'll work something out. Also, don't forget to like and share, subscribe, and then also follow me on all of my social media platforms that are listed here. You can find me at Terrestrial Aura on all of said platforms. And then lastly, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. And thank you for helping me reach 33,000 followers on TikTok. I know that that number is going to grow. I know that I'll be at 100, 200,000 people soon. But in the momentums of each now and every single phase of my progression, I always value my gratitude. Because another thing, guys, the things that matter to you most are going to also shine through your natal charts. Like I mentioned before, I have a Jupiter rising. I have Jupiter on my rising. So one thing that works for me in this life is always being grateful, always being aware of the gifts of my presence and my reality. And by doing that, it is giving the essence and the energy of my Jupiter to stay activated and to stay initiated, to keep me in the flow of the highest form of myself. So bring that awareness to yourself by noticing what matters most in your chart and what your chart is trying to ask of you to do to be able to break through to you. All right, guys. So thank you for watching. I love you. I'll have a new video soon. And until then, I'll see you. Don't forget, check me out on my other social media platforms. All right, I'll see you there. Bye.